Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining me here today on this Wellness and Weight Loss Wednesday, where we are going to be breaking down how to clear toxic estrogen from your fat and liver. One of the reasons why this is so important is that we have many people right now that are going to be embarking on weight loss-based detoxes, or maybe it's weight loss-based exercise programs. But what they're looking to do is to essentially burn more body fat. It might be through diet alone, it might be through diet and exercise, whatever it might be. What happens is when we begin to break down all of the different adipose tissue, the fat cells or the fat stores in our body, along with it can come excess estrogen, heavy metals, plastics, and all sorts of other toxins that we've been storing. And this, again, has been clinically proven now for decades. Anybody out there can run an environmental toxicity lab and actually see all of the different toxins that are currently stored in their body. This is now well-known, well-researched, and again, I've done many shows on that. What I want to share with you today, though, is that this is a real thing. And for many men and women out there, they're dealing with symptoms of estrogen dominance. So they're feeling the brain fog, they're feeling the puffiness, they're feeling a little bit more swollen, a little bit more low mood, maybe more towards depression. They're having issues concentrating. Any of those things can be dealing with higher levels of estrogen. We've gone through on previous shows what estrogen dominance is. So I'm going to link up those shows today at episode stephencabral.com/1790. Today's episode 1790, and you can just go to stephencabral.com/1790, and I will be linking up episode 1769 specifically on Xenoestrogens, and that is important, and here's why. Sometimes it's not just your body that's producing more of these estrogens. What's actually happening is you're being exposed to things in the environment as well as certain foods that create more estrogen in your body, or they act as estrogen-based compounds. Very important. Again, it's not just women dealing with this, it's men as well. This is an important topic. If you plan to lose the weight and keep it off, you're going to want to specifically look at that show. But I want to teach you today, too, is a healthy body has balanced hormones. A healthy body has balanced levels of inflammation. The only way that those things are possible is if you are clearing these estrogenic compounds from your body. Literally, they're going to cause the brain fog, the fatigue, the poor concentration, the lower mood, the puffiness, the swelling, the weight gain. And again, it's very straightforward. If your body's exposed to high levels of estrogen, you have higher levels of inflammation. If your body's exposed to higher levels of estrogen, you might have lower levels of thyroid, leading to lowered metabolism. If you have higher levels of estrogen, you might produce more cortisol, you might store more body fat. And if you're watching this on video today, and again, you can watch every podcast on video just by going to my name on YouTube. So that's easy. Or any of these specific podcast pages will have video, which started about a couple months ago. So here's the thing, though. If you're watching this on video, I'm just holding my favorite demonstration-based model that I use inside of IHP all the time, and I'm pointing to the liver. Now, the liver is that organ under the right side of your rib cage. Its job is to filter all of the toxins in your body, and yes, estrogen is one of those. So estrogen is needed by the body for both men and women, mainly by women. However, as estrogen levels begin to build, your body must filter those with this liver right here. And it must dump all of that excess estrogen, a lot of times bound with bile, into the intestines, okay? The nice thing is this: once it makes its way to the intestines, what should happen next is that it is then removed through your bowel movements, okay? We're gonna teach you how to get it through the liver faster and into the bowels, and then remove that, obviously, from the body faster as well. That is a key component to this, and that is because if your body is burning body fat and stored estrogens and heavy metals and everything else. Again, today's topic is estrogen, but it could be many other things stored in your body fat. And the reason is that body fat is 300 times more toxic than your blood. And your body does that and knows how to do that for a very specific reason. Your body can't have these chemicals floating around in it. So if it's not detoxifying fast enough, it can easily store these things away in your adipose tissue, which are your fat stores. Now, Along with all those chemicals, though, comes water. And that's one of the reasons why you feel so puffy. It's one of the reasons why when people do a good functional medicine detox, sure, they lose some water weight, but they lose they lose the toxins along with it, so they're balancing healthy levels of inflammation. It's just vitally, vitally important. And again, this is now clinically proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. The other issue is so many men and women, and again, a lot of women that we work with in our practice are constipated. And if you are constipated and you're looking at this model right here, what happens is once we get to the colon, or even you're dehydrated, your body begins to pull some of those toxins through the intestinal wall. They come back in the bloodstream, and now they are a more potent form of estrogen, a broken down form, a non-natural form that your body is not meant to be seen in the bloodstream. And these estrogen esters, as they are called, have to then get filtered again by your liver. That is why when I tell you the liver is most likely the most, again, you can't say one organ's more important than the other because you need them all, but your liver has to be functioning at the highest level possible, especially in today's society, in today's world. Because now we know, again, I've been saying 77,000 man-made chemicals for a long time. The World Health Organization, it's now doubled that. It's 144,000. I mean, when you look at that number, it's just astronomical. And it's growing by more than 2,000 man-made chemicals per year. So since our bodies were only meant to see natural substances in nature and never meant to see man-made chemicals, you can understand how this would be a lot of work for your body to detoxify. So I'm going to link up toxic body fat. That's going to be another podcast that I link up. I will link up Xenoestrogens, which just means outside of you, environmental or foreign estrogens. And I want to link up too how to complete a functional medicine detox. So that's a free podcast that I've done before, and I'll link up the free course on what a functional medicine detox is, because I don't want to go over those items today. If you haven't heard about them, I'll teach you those in another show. What I want to teach today, though, is specifically how to get rid of this excess estrogen from the body that's causing estrogen dominance, that's causing all of those symptoms that I spoke about before, issues with the thyroid, issues with brain fog, issues with concentration, potentially issues with fertility, issues with dysregulated menstrual cycles in women, issues with lower mood. I mean, that's a big one. Anxiety, irritability, that's huge, right? Feelings towards depression. So weight gain, of course, would be another big one. What I want to do, though, is make sure that you understand how to get these things out of your body. So yes, we want to ramp up phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. There's just no doubt about that. That is helping this liver right here to do what it already knows how to do. Right? Your liver knows how to detoxify. It's just, it was never meant to keep up with the level of xenoestrogens in the environment and level of toxins. So on a daily basis, we definitely need all of our B vitamins. We need our vitamin C. We need our vitamin D. Those are crucial. We talked about even looking at those levels on yesterday's podcast to see if you have enough, okay? So that's vitally important, okay? Get your vitamins, get your minerals, get your antioxidants on a daily basis. You're going to be able to do that by eating 7 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And I can hear people saying, that's so many fruit, right? You know, you're worried about the sugar in that, the carbs. I get it. We'll have those conversations another day as well. But after going through the first 21 days of, for example, our functional medicine detox we do, or our fat velocity program, you really do want to start to add back in a little bit of starch or a little bit of fruit. And berries are a great place to start. They have so many antioxidants, so many polyphenols that you're going to benefit greatly from those. So that's a great first place to start, but maybe you only do 1 cup a day. That's fine to start. You can get your carbs and your polyphenols, which are your brightly colored antioxidants, through vegetables, okay? And it can honestly be as easy is getting, even if you don't have any of those veggies for breakfast, okay? Let's say you do 1 cup of fruit for breakfast. Fine, 1 cup of blueberries, all right? That's a great way you can make your smoothie that way. But let's say you just do it at lunch. We need to make sure you're getting in your vegetables, but not just any vegetables. We want to get in more of the sulfur-based veggies, okay? So I want you to think about getting in a little bit of broccoli. It's an easy one to do, or a little bit of cauliflower. I know a lot of people have difficulty with kale and items like that, and they may not even want those because of the goitrogen effects. I talk about those in my thyroid-based health results accelerator. But what I want you to remember is that there's more than one way. So it doesn't just have to be a specific type of vegetable. Like if you don't like cauliflower, don't eat cauliflower. Okay, there are other ones to eat. A lot of people like to do cabbage or even sauerkraut. Many other people, collard greens. That's a great one. Collard greens are fantastic. You can cook them. You're still going to get great benefit from them. One of my favorite is bok choy. Bok choy, since I went to China a decade ago now, that was one of like my staple foods I would eat there is bok choy and baby bok choy. Absolutely fantastic. I mean, I love it. It has more like a fennel or a celery based consistency to it, but then it has a little bit of like spinach in the end. Like that leaf tastes a lot, well, it doesn't taste like it, but it has the same consistency of spinach. So bok choy can be a great one. Arugula, adding a little bit of arugula to any of your dishes can be great as well. So those are great cruciferous-based veggies that you can get in. So I can't recommend those enough. And then what I would also say is you on a daily, let's take it back a step. Let's say you just do a cup of fruit at breakfast, totally fine. Do your cup of blueberries, your wild blueberries. They're low glycemic, a lot of great fiber in them, a lot of polyphenols. Okay, so you're eating some of your cruciferous veggies at lunch and you're eating some at dinner. I mean, honestly, if you just did 2.5 to 3 cups of veggies at lunch and 2.5 to 3 cups at dinner, you'd meet your 7 to 9, right, for the day. You'd get your cup in the morning and then 3 cups at lunch, 3 cups at breakfast. And it's also going to keep you fuller longer. That's one of the things that, we don't always talk about with a lot of these super low carb diets that don't even tell you to eat any vegetables. It's going to be kind of scary because one is you're not getting any good prebiotics, and you need prebiotics to keep these things moving and binding through the bowels. But also those cruciferous vegetables ramp up phase 2 detoxification. So it's just, again, it's crucially important. You can learn more about detoxification. I'll link up everything today at stephencabral.com/1790. All the free podcasts. I also have a free masterclass out on female hormones of how to balance estrogen dominance, how to balance menopause, and how to balance a lot of fertility-based issues. So I do hope you check that out as well. So what I'd like to share with you too, though, on today's show is understanding that as you're going through a weight loss-based program, a lot of times when you might not feel as well and you're having Herxheimer-based reactions, are these toxins coming out, one of them being estrogen. So do make sure that you're just taking in some of those good cruciferous veggies on a daily basis. I definitely recommend something like an all-in-one type shake, which we use the daily nutritional support. That's all of your B vitamins, your vitamin C's in there, your electrolytes for energy as well and balance, and then just daily detox support is in there. You're going to get some glutathione. You're going to get some what's called sulforaphane. So it's basically the extract from broccoli. You're going to get a lot of great factors, N-acetylcysteine. You'll get some psyllium in there. You'll get things to keep the bowels moving. And I bring that up once more because if you are constipated, especially on a weight loss-based program, you might end up with skin rashes. You might end up with occasional headaches. You might end up with issues to deal with Herxheimer-based reactions because your body's not eliminating these things fast enough. So if you find yourself dealing with constipation, again, I've done previous podcasts on this as well, but I would love you to use, at a minimum, magnesium citrate in the evening and some alkalizing vitamin C upon waking. Use those in warm water or even hot water if you'd like. Those will help keep the bowels moving. There are more advanced things to do. If you've been constipated for a while, something like an intestinal cleanse can be great. All of these are available. You can just do your research on them at equi.life, EQUI.LIFE. Remember, you can always play the podcast back as well if it's a lot of information. But I just want to make sure that you have everything that you need. You never have to use any of the protocols that I use in my practice that I recommend over at EquiLife, but at least you can research. You can see what we're doing. You can see what's working for other people. That's crucial. I want to give you additional things to do, though, to get this estrogen out of your body. So you know about the cruciferous veggies. You know about your 7 to 9 per day. You know about what you can use just as a starting point for constipation with that mag citrate at night and the alkalizing vitamin C in the morning. But what you want to think about, too, is flushing the body, flushing the kidneys, adding more fluid to the blood. Remember, your blood's about 90% water. If you are actively looking to transform your body and lose weight, or you're on a detox, you need to be getting in that 80 ounces of water a day. About an ounce of water for about half your body weight, right? So it's pretty simple. Take your body weight, divide it in half. That's an approximation of how much water you need per day. That means that most people are going to need what? Well, about 80 ounces of water or so, somewhere around there. That's about 10 glasses of water. If you weigh less, you might need less. If you weigh more, you probably need more. So it's pretty simple. If you sweat a lot, you'll need more. And you'll want to get some of those electrolytes in it, which is why, again, I recommend the daily nutritional support that at least gives you some electrolytes in there. So flush your kidneys with water, flush your liver, which is your blood, with all of this good water. If you're doing something like the functional medicine detox, you're automatically getting 4 20-ounce shakes a day for those first 2 days. But don't let up. Again, make sure you're getting that amount of water per day. And you can even get that through smoothies, or you can get it through certain types of herbal-based teas. Speaking of herbal teas, what would be great teas to be drinking in order to help with estrogen dominance and getting this estrogen out of the body? Well, there's a couple things. So I wanted to share easy things that you can do every single day. Okay. Turmeric tea is one. Ginger tea is another. Dandelion tea is also a great one. Okay. So those are 3 great ones that if you don't love the taste of water and you want to be using more herbal-based teas, you can absolutely use those. Those are fantastic. Okay. See which ones react best for you. Other great things to add to your water, a little bit of beet juice, okay? You can just juice red beets, okay? I recommend the red beets over the yellow ones or the rainbow beets. And the red are just a little bit more powerful in terms of their detox-based support. Okay, cucumber water, another great one, a little bit of a natural diuretic, a lot of potassium in there as well. So adding cucumbers to your water can be fantastic. Are these things going to be game changers? Probably not, but everything adds up. And the truth is this, if it gets you to drink more water, then yes, it's a game changer, because you really do want to aim for half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Super easy to do. This one is just good tasting. It's not going to give you the same benefits that I just spoke about with those before, but a really nice one. Chop up some strawberries, crush up some mint leaves, add them to water, even use one of those water diffusers I've spoken about before on previous Friday reviews. Strawberry mint water tastes fantastic. There's really no sugar in there. There really isn't. You're just infusing it with some of that strawberry flavor. It's a great one. Okay. Let me give you some other compounds that are going to help your body get this estrogen out of your body faster. All right. So I've talked about this before, but really important that we ramp up that liver detoxification, but namely for estrogen. So there's 2. Indole-3-carbinol, just called I3C for short, as well as diindole methane, so DIM. So I3C and DIM. So these are 2 compounds. They're essentially extracts from cruciferous vegetables that allow you to balance healthier levels of estrogen in your body. So I'm a huge fan of that. Again, look for I3C and DIM. You can also just look at estrogen balance from Equilife as well. But again, use your favorite functional medicine company as well. Okay, so those 2 compounds, clinically proven, those are game changers. What are a couple more? Well, one of the things that we use to help balance estrogen metabolism is black cohosh and dong quai. Now, we're not talking about raising progesterone. So a lot of women are dealing with lower levels of progesterone, and that's a different topic for a different day. We're simply talking about too high a level of estrogen and not being able to get these estrogen compounds out of your body fast enough, whether it's from plastics and cosmetics and other things like that from the environment, or whether it's from your own body, okay? But 2 specific herbs, black cohosh and dong quai, we've had really great success with. And I'm not actually able to link those up, unfortunately. Just the FDA does not allow me to link up any supplements. That's why you don't see them on my podcast pages. But you'll be able to find those, or if you're working with a good health coach, they'll be able to bring those to your attention as well. You can find them by typing in ESTRO at equa.life. and you'll be able to find that product for sure. And you'll also be able to find it at Equilife by typing in, more importantly, probably Progest, Progest. If you type in Progest at eco.life, you'll be able to find it. I just can't link them up specifically for you. Okay, really important here though, magnesium. Magnesium is crucial for detoxification. People way overlook it because magnesium's become this panacea for sleep and for mood and for all sorts of other issues. And I agree with you. I mean, and the truth is, like, you need that, and you need vitamin D, and you need zinc. Like that, those are absolutely crucial for a lot of mood and metabolism based issues. And that's because they work almost like enzymes. Like they basically help create transactions within the body. So you want to take this fat soluble toxin and you want to make it water soluble so you can move it out of your body. Okay, well, you're going to need magnesium as part of that process. The other big thing that's way overlooked are B vitamins. Yes, B12 gets its credit all the time, as I always talk about, but B6, crucial. Folate, crucial. B1, thiamine, crucial. So you need your B vitamins. Don't just use B12. Okay, B12 is fantastic, and if you have a B12 deficiency, yes, you can use methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. You can go back to my show on which forms of B12 to use, or basically they're called methyl donors, right? Methyl factors. Really important because a lot of people, about a third of the people that I see in my practice are dealing with methylation defects or just methylation mutations in their genes. It just means they need a little help with their B vitamins. That's it, right? They need a little help in methylating those B vitamins, which are then used for detoxification, which then helps remove those estrogen compounds from the body. So again, you can do all of these things. These things are all within your control. And if you've been dealing with maybe even like adult acne, or you've been dealing with some facial hair growth for women that you don't want, or you're dealing with that brain fog and that fatigue and that decreased cognitive ability and the bloating and the water retention, all of these things can be due to estrogen dominance. So what I'm saying right now is that you have the ability to rebalance your body. First, you can see if it's a real thing. Like if you don't believe it, I totally get it. I was as skeptical as the next person. You can run a lab. It's called the Stress Hormones, Mood, and Metabolism Lab. It's going to look at your estrogen. It's going to look at your progesterone. It's going to look at your estrogen to progesterone ratio to look for estrogen dominance. You will look at cortisol levels. You will look at testosterone in forms of like PCOS for women. You'll look at DHEA. You'll look at cortisol throughout the day, all 4 readings. You'll look at your thyroid hormones, free T4, free T3, TSH, TPO antibodies. You'll look at hemoglobin A1C and morning insulin. So it's an amazing test. I can link that up, and I will link that up today at $17.90. You can run that lab just right at home. You'll get a free consultation with that as well. So that's an amazing one. And then again, check out all the different compounds I talked about today. Run a functional medicine detox. Do a 21-day if you're suffering from these particular symptoms. There's nothing better, there really isn't in the world, than at least starting with a good functional medicine detox. We're joining together as a community for healthy people and imbalanced people all at the same time on January 11th. I'll be doing it with you right alongside of you. And again, if these podcasts are sometimes a lot, today was a lot of information, you can play it back. Listen to it again, take notes. But as always, as I always say, it's not always sometimes about you, it's about sharing the information. So if this podcast was helpful, please do feel free to share this information with anyone else you believe it could serve. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing day.